Welcome back, class 12th. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the polarizing film. You have seen the plane of vibration and plane of polarization and many more topics. Today we are going to discuss about the Brewster's law. To discuss about the Brewster law, that is the polarization of light by reflection. Means, what is that? For that, just consider a transparent medium, this one. This one is rarer, this one is denser. We can write it as medium 1 and this one as medium 2. So when the light falls from one medium to another, say OA, then draw a normal, and the angle between the incident ray and the normal is known as angle of incidence. Some intensity of light is reflected, say this is OAB, and some will be refracted in the medium, say AC. This angle from the refracted ray to the normal is known as angle small r. I am just naming, you may be confused when I say refracted, when I say reflected, so I am writing the name here. This is reflected L and this is refracted small r. So when this light is coming, these types of topic we have discussed in the class 10. The new thing is this light I am taking unpolarized. So this light wave is unpolarized. So if this is unpolarized, so vibration will be in every direction. Like this, as you can see, the vibration is in every direction, not only this point. So this will be forwarding into the head, forwarding into a head like this also. I'm not going to draw at every point. So this is proceeding in this direction. So what is the new thing is, when this light ray, means every light wave like this, whatever the light we are receiving from the sun also, this is unpolarized light. When it is falling to this type of medium, the reflected wave is polarized, not completely, partially polarized. This wave will be partially polarized, and this partially polarized will change to the completely polarized, or you can say plain polarized. That depends on the angle of incidence. Means there must be, not only maybe, there must be a particular angle, there must be a definite angle of incidence at which when the light falls, this, due to that, reflected light becomes completely polarized. At that time, that particular angle is known as polarizing angle or Brewster's angle. Remember this, I am naming and symbol is IP. This angle will be known as polarizing angle or Brewster angle, and this will be what? Completely polarized, means plain polarized light. So how to draw the plain polarized light? With the dot or a straight line. So the dot represents, if you remember the representation, the dot represents the vibration is perpendicular to the plane of paper, like this. Okay, and this one, what happened to this one? This will be having vibration in the perpendicular and the parallel mode. So representation will be like this, with the dot and straight line also. See, dot, and this means this is unpolarized light still, and this is plain polarized light. This is we have discussed. So what is Brewster law? Brewster said that the refractive index, suppose the refractive index of this medium be n. The refractive index of the medium is be suppose n. So Brewster said the refractive index of the medium is equal to the tangent of the polarizing angle. The refractive index is equal to the tangent of polarizing angle or Brewster angle. This is actually what? The Brewster's law. Now the next topic says that it is this topic that the angle between the reflected and the angle between the reflected ray and the refracted ray is 90. the total angle here is 90. How that it is not looking like that? We have to prove this, that the angle from reflected ray to the refracted ray is 90, or you can say the angle BAC is 90 degree. So OA and AB is the reflection is happening here. So OA is the incident ray, AB is the reflected ray. So by that rule, if this angle is IP, so this will be angle of reflection, this will also be IP. And we have one relation, and we are also having one equation due to the Snell's law, that sin I upon sin R is equal to refractive index. Let's write this into the small form, first clean it. So see here, I have just decreased the size of the diagram, or maybe not clear. So refractive index is equal to tan IP, the Brewster law, and the Snell's law said the refractive index is equal to sin I by sin R. So what is the angle of incidence here? IP. So write that. And again, n is equal to tan IP means sin IP upon cos IP. So again see, this one and this one both are refractive indices, so we can equate them. Means again sin IP upon sin R. Say clearly, this sin IP upon cos IP is equal to this sin I upon sin R. So see, sin IP is cancelled. What is remaining? Cos IP is equal to sin R, or you can write here sin 90 minus IP is equal to sin R, because sin 90 minus theta is cos theta. So again sin is cancelled. What is remaining here? 90 minus IP is equal to R, or 90 is equal to R plus IP. See this one, the angle, suppose this normal is n dash, so we can say angle n dash, the straight line will be what? 180, out of which the angle IP plus R, the angle IP plus R is what? 90. IP plus R is 90. So remaining angle, the angle BAC. Tell me the remaining angle, this one, as this one plus this one is 90, the total 180. So remaining will be 90. So BAC is equal to 90 degree. Proved. This was what? Reflected ray. And this was what? Refracted ray. And these are the angle from here to here. So BAC is 90. We have proved that the angle between the incident ray and the refracted ray is 90. Let's move to the next topic. The next topic is, you have seen the polarization using one medium. If there are multiple media, means you have seen that this is any medium, this is the light which is falling on this medium, and this one is what? Unpolarized light. Vibration is in every direction. When light falls, some of the incident ray is reflected and some not exactly like this, refracted. But I said there are multiple media. So let this slab is having this width. So again what will happen? It will emerge out. The incident ray and the emergent ray will be parallel to each other. Just continue the length. Again here is another pipe. So what will happen? It will bend here, and again reflection will be here with the this, and this will be what? Polarized. And this one which is going here, this one will be like this, and will continue. And further when you will do, suppose one more pile, phenomenon will continue. Suppose the refractive index be n and all of the pile are having the refractive index n, but if the pile is having different refractive index, so angle will be different. So it is not, I think, possible. So keep the refractive index as same of the every pile. The actual motto to about this topic is, this is fixed that these one will be having plane polarized light. But the main topic is about this, which is passing through this path. What will be the change at this point? You know, as the number of pile is increasing, so here is the two type of vibrations. One is perpendicular to the plane of paper, and second is horizontal to the, parallel to the plane of paper. So when it will pass through the multiple pile of media, so the plane of this vibration of the light perpendicular to the plane of paper will decrease. The perpendicular means dot one will decrease, while the parallel vibration will be increasing, or you can say it will continue. So this is all about this topic. Now let's see the next topic. The next topic is scattering. Polarization by scattering. Polarization by scattering. We know that what is scattering? When the smaller wavelength of light strike to the particle which has a diameter more than the wavelength of light, so it will absorb and it will be re-emitted in the atmosphere, and this phenomenon is called scattering. Same we are going to do. We will pass a light ray to a medium like smoke, the something which is having a small dust, like dust particle, carbon dioxide gas, and the smoke and etc. So this type of medium, in this type of medium, we will pass the light. What we will receive? We will receive this scattered light, the polarized light is perpendicular to the incident ray, direction of the incident ray. Means what I mean to say it. Suppose in this chamber is like smoke or dust particle, but that must be moving, vibrating, means continuously moving, then it is possible. So this cannot be possible at every time. To maintain that, we are going to change this. We will place here two things: dilute sulfuric acid and sodium thiosulfide. Two things. So dilute sulfuric acid and sodium not sulfide, sulfate. Sodium thiosulfate. Why we are using this? The mixture of them will produce the medium like that as we want, and also as the particle size will increase, the scattering phenomena will increase. So as the time passes, due to this reaction, the size of particle increases. So here suppose these are the small size particles, and we are going to make incident of unpolarized light. What will happen? As I said, the polarized light will be received perpendicular to the direction of propagation, or you can say perpendicular to the direction of incident ray. This is the incident ray. Suppose this chamber is transparent. So we will receive perpendicular to the direction of propagation or the direction of incident ray. This is the perpendicular direction. So here we will receive what? Plane polarized light. But how to prove that this is plane polarized light? Remember my last topic. I said we will put tourmaline crystal and we will rotate it. If the light is received, light is transmitted at every angle, means at every angle of rotation of the crystal, so that light is unpolarized. So for that, the scientist has taken the Nicol prism that is looking like this. So this prism is also used to detect the light is polarized or unpolarized. So what we have found from this point, on rotating this crystal, only at a particular angle the light is maximum. On rotating further, the light intensity decreases, at some point becomes black. Means we can say in short that on rotating, if the intensity of light is changing, means what? This is the what? The plane polarized light. Now the next topic is about the polarized film. We have already seen, but again the topic is here, so I want to show you. If the axis of the polarizer film, or you can say simply polaroid, is same, so on passing over to each other, 1 over, there will be no change in the intensity of light. But on rotating this, so what you will see this at this time, when one is perpendicular to the other, the light is completely blocked. So this will be what? The polarizer film is blocking a light. So at this time the axes are perpendicular. This is all about the polaroid. Now the uses where you are going to see this type of the polaroid film. The more and the very frequent place that you have never recognized, that in the car, when you see the next person who is coming opposite to you, suppose it is blowing the light, the light is glowing at the headlight of that bike or car, is passing through the windshield of the car. If suppose the car windshield is not having any polaroid film, so the light will produce glare and you cannot drive at the road, because the light will be having the flash, the glare, so the vision will be bleached, so you can't drive safely. To avoid that, we are using the polaroid film on the windshield, so that only gives a spot of the headlight, not a glare of that. Sometimes we are unable to see the very minute particles, as we are using to see the minute particles like microscope, but sometimes it is also unable to show you, but that has the capability, but due to the polarization of light we are unable. So we use polaroid film to see the minute particles on the using microscope. The polaroid is also used to vary, to control the intensity of light. Suppose you have any device that through which the light is passing, you have to vary the intensity of light, so you can use the polaroid film. And one more thing, in cinema hall, when you see the 3D film, that the glasses that you are using, on that glasses the polaroid films are being used, because in that glass, one glass, means suppose right or left, will pass the perpendicular vibration and the second one as a horizontal vibration, so mixing of that produces the 3D effect. And sometimes this type of polaroid films, or you can say polaroid, are used to study the materials, and many more uses are there. And the last topic is again the same thing, that how you will detect that light is polarized or unpolarized, as our eye is not capable to do this. So how we will distinguish between the polarized light and the unpolarized light? Same thing. Suppose this one is passing, this white board is reflecting the light towards you. So either this light, the reflected light, is polarized or unpolarized. How to detect? We will use one polaroid. Just rotate this polaroid. If there is no change, means this reflected light is what? The unpolarized light. And if this would be the polarized light, so what will happen on rotating this? The intensity of light will also have to be varied. So these type of steps that we can take, these are the uses of the polaroid films and many things more. There are some questions on this topic, the Brewster law. So we have to see in the next lecture, or I think you can also do this question yourself. If you are facing problem, inform me, or else we will go to the next chapter. So till then, thank you.